I don't know, if I got a cult following somewhere, whatever, right? And they see me on a date with like Nia Long and stuff is like, you know, that woman or some shit like that feeding me and everything like that. They're like, oh, me and Nia Long complete me like Lego set. Right? My cult or my following has to fuck with the fact that Nia Long is here with me.
Right.
So if they see Nia Long out with what's her name? Emeka? Her ex? Because they share kids, right?
Right.
So you see her with Emeka and stuff like that, whatever, you're like, you're cheating on Marv. That's what your following is supposed to be saying.
That's what they're supposed to be saying.
Because fanatic. Right. Fan is short for fanatic, right?
That's what they're supposed to be saying.
I look at it stuff as where a lot of people like will fuck with you for just cause of what you normally do.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a little different, like I like it. Like say if I was a fan of J-Lo, like no shade to J-Lo. I like J-Lo.
Right.
But I don't know if I fuck with J-Lo that much to say I'm gonna buy my girl J-Lo perfume. Now somebody and stuff like, oh my God, I love Jennifer Lopez. I'm gonna buy Jennifer Lopez perfume. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because that was the whole aim. If you like me, you fuck with everything else I fuck with. You like everything else I like.
Except for Andre 3000 that flu game might have been too far off.
Speak for yourself. I told you.
For some of the rap people.
I told you. Oh, let me tell you exactly how you should take in the Andre 3000 album.
The podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous. It's ridiculously funny.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above, all streaming platforms possible.
All of that.
Podical Sons podcast. Podicalsons.com, the website, and socials at Podical Sons. And don't forget to check out our Associated Sons page and stuff as well, where you get none of the conversation, none of the antics, none of the smiles, just straight wisdom.
Words of inspiration.
Straight wisdom.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
And also any one of those things that he just mentioned, you can drop your question. Ask your question if you want. Right? We don't got any specific way that you gotta submit. You know, just if you're at one of those spots, he can send it along.
We used to take it. Yeah, we used to be picky. Now we're not picky.
Yeah,
send them. We get them how we get them.
Yeah,
we get them how we get them. How you feel? You know what I wanted to ask you?
What's up?
With the current landscape of podcasts, do you like the new stuff?
What do you mean?
Like you still listen to podcasts? I couldn't tell you the last.
You know what? I haven't listened to a podcast since it's been almost a year. Like a year, like a full podcast.
Wow!
Because like I said, I would listen to them while I work on the line, right? But since I haven't been at work, I haven't really taken in any like podcasts from beginning to end. Only just like the few clips here that you might see posted. But that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's interesting. How do you approve of the new landscape? Like, because I look at it stuff as where I always say there's always somebody running to bastardize everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I always look at it like that when I used to say, this is just my thing. I used to say, like, black people can't take certain shit serious.
Right.
And that's why, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like when I watch some memes and everything, and then it might be like a wholesome meme.
Yeah.
And then you sprinkle a little black on it. You can't take it serious. Like, you know, if it's like, if it was this is your brain on drugs, you know, this don't do drugs.
Right.
It might have been like, she about to waste the whole damn egg.
Yeah.
She breaking all the curtain. Somebody come get this chick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as where, with the podcast landscape now, I saw a clip of somebody else's podcast.
Right.
To me, I'm gonna say it's not noteworthy because I felt like even the message or the clip portrayed wasn't really something wholesome or like I said, junk values.
Right.
So when
okay, I'll let you continue, but don't you find that that's what a majority of the podcast is doing, a lot of junk value stuff?
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what you mean.
That's
by
what
the
I'm saying. Like, yeah,
stuff.
the landscape, like
right.
the landscape to me, I feel like, and I don't want to put it blaming on, like, let's say myself,
right?
Not you, but I'm saying like myself pertaining to maybe it might be the plugs. I want to blame algorithms.
Yeah,
I want to blame algorithms so bad. But then again, because here's my thing. I don't like shots in the dark.
Right.
So if I know it's algorithm,
right,
then I'll stand on 10 toes and say that it's the algorithm and stuff. And remember I said the same thing about Spotify?
Yes.
I'm like, no matter what, you can't shake Drake.
Right.
Drake will always, if you fuck with hip hop,
yeah,
you're gonna eat Drake songs.
Right. Yeah.
No matter what. Now how fast you get to it, you might skip it. You cannot escape listening to any hip hop track or hip hop playlist on Spotify without a Drake song in there, without a Drake verse. So I look at it stuff as like that, is algorithms.
Algorithm driven.
Straight algorithm driven.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint exactly and stuff on like from the things and stuff that I see. Now I look at stuff as like, on Instagram, your search will have a algorithm like what you've been liking and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Some of these things I don't even like.
Yeah.
But it just land onto like the other plugs or things that I'm looking at.
Right.
And then when I hear these things, I was like, like I hear something about I think more Venus and Mars, like men clapping at women, women clapping at men.
Okay.
I hear a lot of portion of stuff women are clapping at men. We get clapped at every damn day.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there, ladies.
Yeah.
So you don't really need a full podcast for it, whatever. Right. And vice versa for men as well. Because I look at it stuff as for us, we might spend like, let's say 20. Maybe 30?
Yeah.
I don't even say 30. That's even too much.
That's too much.
But I want to say like even a portion of stuff to kind of just discuss, let's say, more so women telling us how to be men.
Right.
And that's the thing and stuff what I always have a problem with. Because I never once wanted to tell a woman like, as a woman, you should make sure you suck your husband's dick once a day. I can't tell you how to be a woman. How the fuck can you tell me how to be a man?
Yeah.
Right? So when I'm seeing a lot of these podcasts and stuff coming out in the fray, I was like, one thing came to my mind when I was looking at this week. I said to myself, I'm like, I wonder if when some people see our commercials, would they even put it in the like this is something to watch, or this is another one of the bullshit values and junk values and stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the landscape and stuff has changed.
Right.
Because I want to say for me, I looked at the landscape before. It was an informative world.
Right.
Just to kind of give you like insight on like stuff you might not take. No, I don't want to say normally take in, but might see.
Right.
Even if this is a podcast about a celebrity and how their world is, they're giving you a side that they don't really, I want to say, share within a passing by. Like, let's say, for example, a movie drops, right?
Okay.
I don't want to go all over the place with the thought.
Yeah.
But let's say if a movie drops.
Right.
And let's say it's like Avengers flick.
Okay.
If this is Avengers flick, they're going to talk to, like, let's say Robert Downey. They're going to talk to another Avenger person that's going to play the character in the show.
Yeah.
And that's fly by. Like, so what do you think about the movie? Next. The interview or the journalist or the reporter is getting swapped out. They're still sitting there and they're talking to like maybe 40 people within the day about the same damn piece.
The same thing.
About over and over.
Yeah.
So that is a different kind of interview to me compared to like having an interview when you're sitting down, you're with set person for like maybe like an hour.
Right.
And you get to divulge into stuff. Because I feel like over a period of time, past the 50-minute margin, either you like somebody or you don't. Shout out to Howie Mandel. Your feelings got hurt when Dana White walked off. You get what I'm saying? Like, the manager's just done.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it was a lot of dick buffing. This is just me.
Yeah.
And he's probably looking like, yo, just introduce me as Dana White, like the UFC president.
That's it.
Howie Mandel, the philanthropist, the phenom, the creator, the ensemble of the Voltron Force, defenders of the universe.
Just strictly just doing too much. Just doing too much.
So I'm looking at stuff as like, wow, us in the landscape,
right?
Before this extra fodder came in, would we get tossed in and stuff, whatever, mixed in with them? not saying like the content, because again, you digest the content.
Yeah.
But it's just that now it has a negative connotation. Like before, you had a podcast. Oh shit, what was it about? Now it's in a podcast. You're like, two men venting about.
Well, I was about to say, without someone specifically telling you like what our podcast is about, I think the landscape has been saturated so much. A lot of stuff has been regurgitated so much that when you see two brothers like ourselves and have no idea what it is,
you're thrown into the fodder.
You're automatically thrown into the fodder.
Yeah, you're looking like, this is like the regular rest of them,
right?
Stuff, whatever, right?
You're automatically thrown into the fodder.
And I think that's where, let's say for myself, when I do interact with set people and stuff to like, to, let's say, possible new followers or possible new whoever.
Yeah.
I'm a walking business.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as where like, for example, I had some hospital staff and stuff, right? Like I normally would talk to one person, let's say, a few people, but like this one person in particular.
Yeah.
She listens to the show.
Okay.
Right. And she'll save all her smoke until she sees me.
Until she sees you. Okay.
Right? Because so it's kind of like, no, this motherfucker did it. Whatever, right? And if we talk about some things and stuff like that, she might agree with you, she might agree with me, whatever. She might say, you're full of shit, whatever, stuff like that, whatever. I laugh. I don't remember the times when they don't agree with me.
Yeah.
I just remember the times when they don't agree with you. Because it's just the funniest stuff for them. Because they're looking like, this guy doesn't remember a boom flick? He's a liar. Like, yo, when they call you, I was like, yes, touch me, my sister. Yes. Like, yeah, like you gotta remember the boom flick, but someone's like, oh yeah, put her in the back of my mind. And then I got Men in Black flashed, and then out of nowhere, it was gone out of my memory banks, and it's just like that.
I don't recall the boom flick.
Yeah, I bet. But then we're having a conversation, and salute to Sister Pat. So Pat and I are having a conversation.
Shout out, Pat.
And meanwhile, Pat and I are having a conversation. Other people are like pinging in or eavesdropping
listening
in and stuff, whatever. And they're looking like, yo, dog, like you always come up with some profound shit.
Right.
But I'm like, these are things we already done spoke about on my podcast.
Yeah.
And then you talk about things like this on your podcast, and then now everybody wants a business card.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it stuff as where some people, I even said to one person and stuff, and I'm like, you don't fuck with podcasts and stuff? And they're like, no, to be honest, no, because all I know about when it comes to podcast stuff, whatever, is that the angry people yelling at something that we should be angry about.
And that part I blame on the algorithms. Right? Because again, obviously when these social media platforms, they're gonna use whatever they can use to hook and promote. Whatever, right?
Right.
So we'll see all the outlandish stuff. We'll see all the angry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what I say, the algorithms, what I was saying before, the regurgitation of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many times have we heard this whole dinner argument? In how many different ways have we heard this whole dinner argument? We spoke about this dinner argument almost 2-3 years ago.
Which dinner argument?
Yeah, can a man take a woman?
Oh,
It's been remixed so many different ways. Up to last week, I seen another post with it, right? And I'm like saying, if you're just a regular viewer and you keep seeing stuff like that, then you start to think to yourself, well, podcasts have nothing to offer to me if this is all the content that they provide, right? So again, when you see us, you might, they probably about to talk about some women who want to scroll. When no, our shit is a lot deeper than that, and it's just not one perspective per show, right? It's multiple perspectives,
of course,
per show, and it's the style and substance. It's yes, we're gonna give you humor, we're gonna give you jokes, but we're also gonna give you stuff to think about, right? And I think that's where a lot of demographics get confused, because the older people would like to hear the stuff that we're talking about, but just don't know we're talking about it. They might look at us and thinking we're talking about all the young shit.
Yeah.
right? What all the young people are tied into it, and so
And the young shit looking at us and like, these niggas is out.
right?
They're like, oh man.
Yeah, and that's
I got
just
some
the
grays.
thing.
I got some grays.
And that's just the thing. Our perspective. Listen, I mean, sure we understand what's happening with the youth today and what's happening in that realm, but now we grown adults. We're speaking to our peers, right? We're communicating with our peers, and it just so happens that a lot of our peers have not found the content that they can get into.
That is true. That is true. Because I think somebody felt like that.
Right.
And then they said, I can do that podcast thing. And then they get into that fray where you just add to the numbers, shit don't go anywhere. You realize it's more serious, more harder than you thought it would be.
Yeah.
And then you keep it pushing and stuff, whatever. And then you're looking like, oh, I did a podcast. And like I told you, if you don't got, to me, first 48, you have 48 episodes, I can't recognize you. Because I want to say, like, this is us. I look at it stuff as where and somebody put me onto a podcast and stuff, whatever, if I have time within my personal world,
right,
then I might just take it in and stuff, whatever, right? Like the Club Shay Shay is more of an interview type of thing.
Yeah.
But everything they turned into podcasts.
Right.
So it was more of a situation where like I like Cat Williams and I haven't heard from him in a minute.
Right.
So I'll take it in.
Right.
The Monique aspect and stuff, whatever, I don't really mess with Monique like that.
Right.
I haven't really messed with Monique, like a Monique comedy thing since Queens of Comedy.
Right.
So I'm not going to break my neck or even make time for the Club Shay Shay Monique. I seen clips. I try to watch a piece of stuff, whatever. When I realized her shit's a little bit longer than the Cat Williams thing, I'm like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're not doing this and stuff, whatever. And then a lot of people, some people ask me something about my anti-Monique and everything and stuff like that. I'm like, no, but I got to see some kind of growth, like within certain type of people. Like I'm just weird like that.
Right.
And the reason I say
I don't think you're weird.
That's the reason why I say well, I feel like I'm weird and stuff is because some people haven't made peace with it. Like I've made peace with it and stuff, whatever. Like I'm not gonna move or think like the pack.
Right.
And I'm looking at stuff as where I don't have that time to waste.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So I look at it stuff as where the Cat Williams thing, I had to etch out time.
Right.
Etch out time out of my life and stuff. My world is busy as is. Right. Doing our own thing. And I always try to make sure and stuff that we don't copy anybody else and stuff if they spoke about something before we spoke about it, whatever. Right. Most of the time I feel like we tend to beat them to the punch. I don't know. It's the look of the Irish.
I tend to feel that way as well.
But most of the time I feel like it's the look of the Irish and stuff like that. It's just that I guess because they have a bigger volume, or the volume is up higher than ours.
Yeah.
This is the reason why it might seem like we might be talking about the same thing, but 9 times out of 10, if it's timestamp, you can see our timestamp goes in before theirs.
And if you see a topic that's beaten to death, the chances are we're not going to cover it.
Yeah, like
it's chances are we're not going to cover it. And if we do cover it, it's something
deeper to it.
Yeah.
And there's always something deeper to it and stuff, whatever. To me, because I look at it stuff as I don't look at things on a surface level. I'm overthinker.
Right.
So if I'm going to look at something and stuff, I'm going to be like, yeah, this is surface level, but what is this beneath? It's the same thing we were talking about the Jay-Z Grammy speech.
Right.
Everybody's like, yeah, Jay-Z spoke for his wife and everything. Does he need to speak for his wife in that way?
Right.
There's something deeper. Like, are you seeking approval? You guys won in this game of life.
Yeah.
What do you need more and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, when everybody's like, shout out to Hove and stuff like that. I'm a Jay-Z fan, but you don't need to do this. Is there something deep-seated and stuff in you to feel like you needed to do this?
That you need to carry on,
And if you're looking, I always look at stuff as where, like I heard Benzino's pieces up when he was saying that like he kind of pioneered the Hip Hop Awards thing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that.
No.
But I look at it stuff as where we have specific platforms where, quote unquote, we're not welcome.
Right.
Then some people or some powers that be decide to create our own platforms.
Right.
Where we're welcome.
Yeah.
we're welcomed here. You're not welcomed over there, but you still want to be welcomed,
still
or
wanna
you
be
still want to be
welcomed.
recognized and stuff over there.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of idiot.
Yeah.
Like even like if when somebody's like, "Oh, you guys, you should travel here and everything." Do they like black people?
Mhm.
That's my main question I'm asking. Do they like black people? The people that look like me?
Right.
Because if they don't like people that look like me, that place is not for me.
Right. I get it. I see.
So I look at it as if it's like, don't break your neck for somewhere. Like if the Grammys don't recognize you, or give your person the album of the year and everything. Create something over here where people will accept you.
Create it where somebody accepts you.
Like I look at this stuff as like we like black people, like the black community, highly, they worship the fuck out of Oprah. And I don't see Oprah on BET. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
So I just look like, all right, this is me. That's just me. So you're not listening to anything new. That's interesting.
Nothing new.
Okay. Sorry to impose a question on you like that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Let's get to the polls, man.
Polls.
First poll of the week says, is generosity contagious? What do you think the answer is?
I think nah.
You think nah?
Yeah.
After your last week's aggression?
Right.
Generosity, yes, is contagious.
They said yes.
86% said yes.
86%.
How you feel about
Those
that?
are the things. Those are people paying it forward.
I don't know.
Those are the people paying it forward.
I don't know. I feel like I said, it's not only just a pay it forward type,
right?
But I feel like it's contagious. Let's say this: it's contagious to the point where if you have a high tolerance of hate or have a high immune system, you're not getting bit by the generosity bug.
No, you're not.
And the reason why I say it just like that, because you could be moved and touched by a lot of things you see. Like, fuck, you can be sitting home minding your business, taking in, I don't know, whatever commercial or something like that. And what's it, Sarah McLachlan, I will remember you with the pets. And it's like, who do these pets like this?
Yeah.
I'm not really a pet person and stuff, but some other people might be like, let me call in this and adopt this pet or get me a pet, save a pet.
Listen, I got a pet and I ain't calling nobody.
Smart man.
Here's a funny thing.
Talk.
Okay, so when you pull up to, like, let's say you're coming off the highway or you're coming to a stoplight
and see somebody begging for change?
You see somebody begging
Absolutely
for change.
Not.
Not, right?
Absolutely not.
Even if you see other people feeling
not.
sorry for this person and dropping change in their change cup.
Let me tell you my other hustle and stuff. Whatever,
right.
Okay. So I have some not so kind and wise ways to make money, but it's not. You don't have to be super struggling out here. There's ways you can get this thing.
Yeah.
And just question a lot of morale in the process.
Yeah.
The people coming off the highways that I see and stuff, whatever, absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. One time I pulled up and stuff, whatever, again, overthinker.
Right.
I thought about this and stuff, whatever. So I pulled up and stuff. Let's say I'm getting off the highway. I see the light in the distance.
Yeah.
Turn yellow to red.
Okay.
Right? So now when I pull up to the light, either I make the left, which I was going, or people make the right. You can't go forward.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When I get up there, I see a person with a sign. No sex in the champagne room. Is that Chris Rock?
That's Chris Rock, yeah.
He said, if you see a homeless person sign and it's funny, they haven't been homeless that long. Real homeless people, real hungry people don't have time.
They don't have time.
For the word hungry.
That's it.
Anything helps. That's it. Whatever,
it.
Right? So now I'm pulling up and everything. I see the sign. I look at the sign. I'm like, hey, maybe do a little smirk. Be like, this guy. I see this guy. I hear. Starts walking towards the car. And then my brain starts processing stuff. I'm like, I wonder how long this light's going to be.
Right.
So the light waiting, like TikTok wise, whatever. It's about 2 minutes.
Okay.
There was 4 cars ahead of me.
Yeah.
3 out of the 4 cars gave him some change.
3 out of 4 gave him change.
3
Okay.
something. So like me being a 5th car,
Yeah.
no nada, and I think nothing from the 2nd car.
Okay.
Whatever, right? Let's say they gave him 50 cents. Let's just say, right?
Mm-hmm.
50 cents within 2 minutes.
Within 2 minutes.
Let's factor in another, let's say 4 minutes after the light changes and stuff, and it goes back to there and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Say he accumulates another 50 cents and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So let's say within 1 hour, he or she or said person and stuff, whatever, might even collect $10. And I'm just being generous.
Right.
Because some people empty out their whole change thing.
Yeah.
All that shit, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Just dump.
Yeah.
So you might even get like $3, $4, or $5 in one shot.
Right.
Right? Multiply that, let's say the 10 an hour.
Right.
8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's $80 an hour. I mean, $80 a day.
Mm-hmm.
They just made $80 panhandling within the day.
Right. Right.
That's a shift.
That
You're gonna take your ass somewhere to go make this change?
That is a shift. That is a shift.
Miss me.
Right.
Miss me.
Yeah.
One of my ex-girlfriends was a social worker. There's tons of services, especially in Ontario, willing to help. If it was another place, I'm still even sketchy on it, whatever. Because I heard like the water boys in Atlanta, they'll pull up. Some of them packing tools. You know what I'm saying?
Ready.
Like, yeah,
ready.
I don't want to buy no chain. You gonna give me something.
You're ready.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, miss me with that. So I'm looking at stuff, I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. My generosity and stuff, the buck stops there.
Okay. Okay.
My generosity and stuff will kick in and stuff where I look at it like, oh shit, I can recognize and say, there's actually still humanity left in the world.
Right.
Right? Soup kitchen. That's generous.
Yeah.
I took my time. You take your time.
Yeah.
To get up and go and do these things and stuff, whatever. That's generosity.
That's generosity. But how much?
Contagious.
But how
you caught the bug from me?
I caught the bug from you. But how many people do you know that you tell that you do it, and they caught the bug?
A few, a good portion. Remember, my squad that you see and stuff, whatever, there.
Right.
Don't go. Ben, shout out to Ben. Yo,
shout out to Ben.
There's some people and stuff that's just not their thing.
Right.
And that's okay. But then there's other people and stuff that's their thing where they'll call me and they'll ding me, be like, yo, you guys doing it? Are you guys doing it? Don't leave me out.
Right, right.
So I'm looking like, again, if your tolerance or your immunity is high as hell, you're not going to catch anything.
Well, yeah.
If
you're not.
But if your hate is low.
And that's what I was that's what I was saying last week. It's like, I think it's already got to be in you. If it's not already in you to be like a generous person, then I don't think that you're going to be swayed by somebody else's act of generosity.
I don't think, no. And this is why I disagree.
Right.
The reason why I disagree and stuff is because I look at it as that you and I do not have to have the same mental capacity to like or care about the same things.
No, we don't. We don't.
Right?
Right.
Like, for me, my mind is always blown in celebrity and idol worship. I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
I can acknowledge and I can respect, but I can't glorify. Like, to the Taylor Swift, to the Swifties, to the Beehives. Right. I can't call myself that word. Like when we were joking about the Jay-Z thing, Jehovah's Witness and everything, Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. Like I look at it as like, yeah, I'm not. I don't subscribe to that. So, and even Jay-Z is a different kind of mysterious kind of person and stuff. Beyonce, I'm pretty sure, still posts her shit. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift posts her shit and stuff, whatever. And some people would take whatever they post and put it in their story and to be like, hey, you should go to Beyonce's page and like this. Beyonce don't fuck about you. She only following her husband.
Right.
Taylor Swift probably just kicking it to her peoples and stuff like, why do they care?
That's if they even run their page.
That too. You're absolutely right.
That's if they even run their page.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I look at it where I'm in a different kind of landscape where I look at it. It has to move me.
Right.
Like in my stories, I put like some nonsense, some comedy. I might put some touching stuff and everything. If it moves me, it's going to my story. Yeah. Because I look at it and it's going to my story if I feel like more than 3 or 4 people have to see it. Because instead of me going like, Smooth should see this. Your wife should see this. This person should see this. This person should see that. You know what?
Throw it in the story.
You see it, you see it.
You see it.
If not, oh the hell well.
Right.
And I just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
some people are generous to people who don't really need the generosity.
I can
Walmart.
I can see that.
And I'm calling out my favorite store in the world, but it's like
Wow, easy.
Walmart and the Walton family are billionaires. Okay?
Yes.
Billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
For them to take any donation to wherever the fuck, you know they can cover that and then some.
And then some.
And then some. Hell, if even the collective of the family just say, you know what, we'll give $5 million to whatever fucking cause, a piece, I think that whatever cause to be straight.
Yeah.
But no, Walmart's telling you, hey, not only we need to charge you for your plastic bags, by the way, would you like to give $1 or $2 to whatever the fuck foundation we wanted to please?
Right. Yeah.
Because they're paying us on the back end for this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the one dummy, $1 won't kill me. Generous to no people who don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, nah.
Who don't need your help.
Yeah, nah.
It's, I just look at it as stuff as where, yes.
I know how 80%. All right. Faith in humanity is still there.
Yes. I
can't be mad at that.
All right. Next poll says, do schools kill creativity? And 82% said yes, they do. How you feel about that?
I feel like they do.
Talk about it.
I feel that the only time you really get to be creative is if you're in a class that actually promotes that. But other times, everything is just, it's all about conformity, right? You gotta be in class at a certain time. You gotta sit.
That's order.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
that's
order. I'm not saying I have nothing wrong with order, right? But with order, it's a lot of times order does not give you a lot of time to be creative. A lot of times, if you want to be creative, you got to step outside of the order, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you're in school for a specific reason. If they want you to be creative, then they're going to direct you to whatever the creative arts is that you should be in, right? So you might have drama class, you might have art class, right? You might have music class. Like those disciplines, they support like creativity. Everything else is more I wouldn't say educational because those things are educational too, but everything else is more on a structured learning.
Okay.
Let's say, right, where you're gonna have a program, and in that program, you pretty much follow that program to a T. Like you said, order, right?
Okay.
There's not much room for you to be creative with what you're given.
I'm going to say no. So I'm going to disagree with that. Because I think even if you have a group project and stuff like that, whatever,
right,
you still have your time to shine and highlight your attributes pertaining to whatever the project might be.
Right.
And I look at it as if we're talking about grade school level,
right,
you and I can both do the same damn science project and stuff, whatever. One of my favorite projects I always used to love when I was in grade school or elementary was which liquid freezes the fastest.
Okay.
And I think my shit went to the Dade County Fair one time and stuff, whatever. Shout out to Miami. Now, that project, I seen somebody else do that project before.
Okay.
Right? And I think they did it with different liquids and stuff, whatever. Because I did it with water, milk, orange juice, rubbing alcohol, and something else, right?
Right.
For that.
Okay.
And let's say me decorating my board, because it still had to be on that 3 fold out flap science. Do you still do those in school? I haven't seen those in a minute.
I haven't seen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
But even that in itself,
right.
My project setup compared to like the other person that I saw, 2 different type of things.
Yeah.
Probably still got a letter grade whatever school they went to, and I got a letter grade for my school and stuff like that. Right.
Right.
But we both showed our creativity and what I guess to come through there, because I chose the colors to use on the board. I chose the setup and the photos and everything like that.
Yes.
Like I said, it's still within order. My thing and stuff is the order is that there's time and there's orderance for like how we do things as a collective or as a society that I feel like some of these newer kids don't know. Like when I heard the girl talking about she has time blindness.
Okay.
I was like, heifer, didn't you? I'm sorry for calling her a heifer, but I'm looking, I'm like, you had grade school, no? School, before you even went to the school tells you it starts at 7:30.
Right.
So now you as a young adult, or like say like in your late teens, early 20s, are now saying, I don't recognize time. No, this company has its order on how they do things.
Right.
If you can't fall into the order how they do things, and that's what a problem. So that's what I'm saying. Your order, my order are two different things and stuff on that aspect. The next thing I look at is stuff is where if you ever had a teacher that told you and stuff, you could be anything you want to be, school will never kill your creativity.
Yeah. Still think it kills your creativity.
Hey, you're entitled to feel the way you feel.
Yeah, I feel like if you were to get up and say, today I'm gonna make something of myself, and you figured out what it is that you need to be doing,
you got to give an example, because you can't shoot it like a abstract thought.
Okay,
out there
let's
like
say
that.
today I want to be an artist, right?
What kind of artist?
I want to paint.
Okay, so you want to be?
I want to be a painter.
A painter artist. Okay.
Does it profit me to go to school and sit down 8 hours and study all these different disciplines? Or would it be more profitable for me to go sit down with a painter who says, okay, this is the technique that I use, but you don't necessarily have to use this technique, but this is how I get by. But here's a brush, here's your paint. Go at it. Right? In a situation like that, you're free to express and do whatever you want with that paint.
Correct.
Paintbrush and so forth like that. When you go to school for it, they're going to give you techniques. They're going to say, you got to do it like this, you got to do it like that. And you're graded on the technique that they give you. And if you don't do it by their technique, you get a failing grade. So where's the creativity in that? So that's the order. That's the order. But that
won't be your final project though. So that's what I'm saying. I look at it. You're using this one piece to define the whole thing. So that wouldn't be like if they're telling you you have to paint like Rembrandt.
Okay,
you have to paint like Rembrandt and this, and you got bad painting or like graded marks for the way your brush strokes might have been, whatever.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that if they're like, we want you to paint a portrait of whatever the fuck you like, in a Rembrandt style, that's showing your creativity. Because if you can pick the object you want to paint, either a computer, a bowl of fruit, or whatever the hell you want to paint, that's on to you.
But what if you just want to paint, but you don't want to paint Rembrandt style?
Then school is not for you. But that's what I'm saying.
But that's like, okay. So
but it's still, but you still have the creativity option. You're making it seem like school doesn't give you the creativity option. You need to know.
It gives you the creativity option, but it's within a certain framework.
Yeah.
That's the order you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But it's not truly creative. You're truly creative is like,
I'm not saying truly creative. I said creativity, like in general, in totality.
Yeah.
In the totality and stuff, because I look at it where, let's say, for example, and this is where I think formal schooling is always a bonus.
Okay.
Picture if this, going back to this painter thing, right? You want to paint like whatever thing. Let's say you paint, let's say the person, or if it's you, paints a person by a bridge doing this. Right? What that reminds you of? A Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, yeah.
All right. The person who has no knowledge of the Van Gogh paints something as somebody screaming off a dock.
Okay.
Right? This is my stressed out thing. And then everybody looks at it like, oh, it looks like a rendition and stuff to the Van Gogh. To who? To who? Now people looking like, you know who Van Gogh is? Why should I buy your shit if you're trying to make bootleg? And it happens.
You should buy my shit because you look at my shit and you like my shit, not because it reminds you of Van Gogh.
Yeah, but people buy, like, for all you know, people might listen to our podcast because it reminds them of, I don't know, Deezus and Mero. One person said that before. And if they like Deezus and Mero, then they might want to give this a shot. And that's what I'm saying. But my thing and stuff is that until they own it, or they deal with it, or they mess with it, or they interact with it, to say like, this is different from whatever the hell this is.
Right.
But at the end of the day and stuff, whatever, our creativity and stuff, it's still like, if we sell it bland as is, a podcast, two black guys talk about culture, society, the world, and psychology and philosophy.
Right.
Doesn't sell anything.
Doesn't sell anything.
You're looking at us now. You're looking like, oh shit. You know, sometimes you came with, like one time I came with the suit. I had a suit on.
Yeah.
I got a hoodie on today. You got a hoodie on today.
Yeah.
Some days you come with, last week you came with the button up.
Right.
You're looking like they have their own sense of style. They're coming from two different landscapes. One is built in America, another is built in Canada.
Right.
They're in two different. Now you're seeing the creativity and stuff of like why the conversation is going this type of way.
Right, right.
So I look at it stuff as like there has to be some kind of order to it or some kind of structure to kind of give you like a framework. And then after that, it's up to you how to build on it to whatever. Because think about it. I look at the stuff as that no one told us stuff whatever from the beginning. We have to run the podcast and stuff for an hour.
No.
We could run podcasts for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And to some people and stuff, 15 minutes is all they really need to kind of share one thought off and done it.
Even
I think, I don't want to give away our secret sauce and stuff, whatever, with some ideas, but I look at it as like, yeah, we have thoughts and stuff about even just like, one topic, 30 minutes. Right? And some people would just do that on pertaining to their shows.
Yeah.
But I look at it as we have a framework structure where we're going to review the polls. We're going to talk about this. And this is like the ordinance of like how we do the questions of the week and everything. And some people might be like, oh, well, the other shows, like two black guys talking about whatever the hell, don't have a lineup and set up like this.
Right.
I kind of like this. Has more order, has more structure compared to like, blah, 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 whatever the fuck.com. It's still showing our creativity.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and even if we were to jump on, let's say, a big network or somewhere like that, I wouldn't really mess with somewhere if they wouldn't allow us to be creative in our own aspects.
No, and that's it, right? Like we wouldn't want to go anywhere where they already have like a set conform because a lot of
and that's why the formal schooling is not needed.
Even when we started off, I think our choice to stay with SoundCloud was because we realized some of the platforms that are out there would not allow us to do the things that we do.
The creativity, the freedom.
Right. And we didn't want to limit ourselves.
Right.
So he's like, SoundCloud would be like the Wild West for that sort of stuff. So let us go to SoundCloud. If there's any form of conformity, we create the conformity for ourselves. We know what we need to do. We know how we want to structure it because at the same time, we don't want to be like everything else that's out there, right? We have our own ideas. We have our own ways that we want to carry across stuff. That is the creativity of our show. I think it's funny because when I heard the remark that we were reminded of Jesus and Minerals, I was like, I'm trying to think about which part of it because our shows are different.
They are.
You know what I mean?
Again,
our shows are different.
Two black guys.
Yeah, that's a clothing company.
Talking about culture,
right?
Society,
right?
And current events.
Yeah.
Don't let Miro because he's Dominican. He's Afro-Latino.
He's Afro-Latino.
You know what I'm saying? It's still two black guys. Two black guys.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. It's to that until you see like, okay, well, this will separate from the pack or this makes this a little different and this will be like that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I look at it stuff like even to the schooling aspect and stuff is where it's good to have knowledge and history of things.
Yes.
And I feel like that's the reason why, like, I think the formal schooling aspect is needed because a lot of them don't know, they lack the history or the understanding or like the way how certain things stuff were done before.
Right.
Shout out to all the new rappers and stuff out here and everything, but some of them may or may not heard of Tupac.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as if they may or may not heard of Tupac or everything. Like even I always call him out. Yachty, he said he was born after Tupac died.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as where he have no history or no knowledge of people have no history or knowledge of Pac, but they're still rappers. It's to your painter thing to you're talking about. But then now
when he said that, what did you think about when he made that statement? Because I was like, yeah, but I wasn't around when Martin Luther King was around, you know what I mean? But there's lessons to be learned from Martin Luther King.
Right.
We weren't around where Socrates or Plato or any of these people were like, but these were great philosophers. If you're into philosophy, this is where it's coming from, right? So you should know how about that it got here. When he says like, yo, why would he listen to Tupac or anything like that?
But that's what I'm saying. Should.
Yeah.
And you sound like me when coming back to the painter thing.
Right.
Because you'd be like, this is a Van Gogh style. Who the hell is a Van Gogh?
Right.
Right? The thing and stuff is that if we know the history or you know the knowledge and stuff like that of what the person might say, I want to say it opens you up to like a better chance to win. And I'm not no shade to like the person with the no formal school or the no previous history of the past.
Yeah.
But I look at stuff as like, say the person might do a Van Gogh kind of swirl or some shit like that, or a spit a Tupac like bar. Like Tupac said it first, like, I don't know this Tupac person. What are you talking about? They said it first.
Yeah.
They're like, I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they're looking like, oh, I didn't know he said it. Sure, buddy. Know your history.
Right. Yeah.
Know where you're coming from and stuff, whatever. Know that there's people that did it before you. Have the knowledge of whatever the hell in your respectable field.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what I think more school and stuff would be. Because it's so vast. I'm like, you're teaching us, like, I always used to laugh, like, you're teaching me calculus when I might pick up a job that might even need fucking calculus.
Yeah.
Right? But then again, they're giving you like a broad kind of basic shit.
Yeah.
One, and I don't really put it fully on the teachers. I look at it stuff as like, yo, there's money to be made when it comes to these schools.
Of course.
It's a business. So I look at it stuff as like, if you know it ain't your kids, and you know you make money from other people's kids,
right?
Get him something to keep him occupied for a few hours to get this bread.
Yeah.
So I look at the teachers probably stuck in a chokehold, be like, look, man, I know I'm supposed to tell you about Rumpelstiltskin. However, let me tell you about James and the Giant Peach.
Right.
Let me inform your world and stuff whatever about that. And then next year you're like, Mrs. Such and Such told us about an author named Roald Dahl. We were supposed to learn about Roald Dahl. We were still with Rumpelstiltskin stories and stuff, and Mother Goose and the cat and the Puss in Boots. They're like, teacher can only go so much.
You can only go so much.
But then most of them and stuff, whatever, like I feel like a good teacher or a proper teacher who loves to teach will point these kids into a proper direction.
Yeah.
For them to be like, yo, you might not be able to showcase your grandeur and your talents and stuff like that through here.
Right.
However, there's other places and other spaces if you continue on, or they might even put them onto some stuff.
Put them on to give them the different avenues.
So I look at it stuff as like schools in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think if a school in general stuff is not really doing that, my personal opinion, it should be shut down. And I said it in a harsh way and stuff like that is because the teachers, I feel like, should be paid not as much as athletes, but behind every athlete, most entertainers, there was teachers that put them in the positions and stuff, whatever, to give them the skills needed and necessary for them to be on the platform you're seeing them on. Right? To the 8-year-olds and stuff like that who are on YouTube making millions and stuff like that, their parents are the ones I feel like gave them some kind of structure to it.
Yeah.
And again, it's some kind of ordinance and stuff and that's what a good parent should do.
Yeah.
A good parent should just want to give their kids the keys to win at this game of life.
Of course.
Some kids can accept it and learn it.
Yeah.
And some kids and stuff refuse to hear it from their parents.
Right.
So they have to suffer until they go like, oh, I should have listened to my parents.
Right.
So your parents didn't care creativity. No. Your parents tried to give you a lane. But you didn't want the shit they wanted to give you.
Shout out to Color. We were talking about that last night. I stopped by his shop and we were beatboxing. But yeah. No, you're right. It's the fact that when you go to school and people will tell you, you know, they had that one teacher that they really liked.
Inspired.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my great teachers and stuff, whatever, that in my head, I don't forget them. First and last name. And you couldn't call them their first name.
Right.
But I will always remember their first and their last name because they inspired me to like, oh shit, I like this. I want to know more.
Yeah.
I want to say there's tons of people that went to school with me. We've probably taken, I know like 5 or 6 people and stuff like that. We probably taking like pretty much all the same class together as high school.
Right.
And we're not doing the same thing in life now.
Mm.
Because I was inspired by a different way compared to how they were. They were looking at this stuff as like, this person's boring to them or is not getting through. But the words that they were saying and dropping, we're in the same classroom. I'm looking like, shit, I can be all I can be except for going in the army. You know? And that. Let me ask you one more thing about education if we can keep it pushing. Do you view your education as like an ornament or a compass? So, and the reason why I say it like that, because some people and stuff might just say like, I got my degree, I got my diploma, I got my certificate. And then some people just like, without this, I would never have no direction.
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
And I think if you're doing something with it, and it's the path that you have been given has been enhanced because of your education, then for sure it was an aid. But I like, there's a lot of people who are educated, but only for the fact that it brings them the title, and don't really care for.
So it's more an ornament thing.
It's more an ornament to them.
And see, I feel like I have a friend.
Right.
I don't even know. I know somebody.
Okay.
I want to say, like, I got to stop overusing that word friend like that, whatever, right? Because it's for a selective group. I know somebody. This person went to school to be a nurse.
Right.
Right. And let's say she passed her license exam in the July. So say she finished school, did graduation commencement in the June. Right. Took the time and stuff to look for like other jobs until she needed like the license and stuff like that. So she passed her license and board exam. So she's official nurse by ending of July.
Okay.
She's working by say mid-August.
Right.
From mid-August to like the end of September, she's working in the hospital. She had 5 people die on her. Right? She worked in an emerge hospital, an acute care. Emerge. Sorry, I'm thinking work shit.
Whatever.
Right. People are like, what's acute care? Then the nurses be like, yeah, let's not flex on nobody here. Let's treat everybody equally here on the Podical Sons. Okay, no one's better than nobody. But she worked in emerge, and she was traumatized. Like, fuck, I've been a nurse for like a month and like maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
And I've had 5 people die on me.
Right.
Right? And I would look at that like, shit, boo, this shit should be an ornament now because I don't think this might be your world.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
But because of that and the shit that she saw and everything, it pointed her to a proper direction.
Okay.
Where she was actually what she needed to be in and stuff. And she's like, yo, frontline shit ain't her shit.
Right.
She just want to help people in some particular garden and stuff, whatever. And she needs the degree of nurse to kind of do what then she's doing.
I was going to say...
So she works for telehealth now. I don't put a business out there like that, but yeah.
I was going to say sometimes it's an ornament, but sometimes you need that ornament for a purpose. Here what I was going to say. Because I was like, when I went to audio engineering school, right? I got there, I want to say knowing 80% of the stuff that they were already teaching.
Correct.
Right?
You're this rogue fucking painter.
Yeah.
Paintbrush. I need formal schooling for fuck you. Said it with your French accent, did you?
Well, ever since I was young, I was always in studios hanging with people who knew
the craft. Right.
So
you got hands-on learning.
But I realized that to work in this field, if I needed anybody to take me serious, I needed that ornament that says I could do it, right? So then I said, okay, let me go to engineering school. So I went to engineering school, and it's like, of course, I learned maybe the proper terms for things, like like turn up that knob in the studio. Oh, it's a potentiator. Potentiator? Yeah, that's what it's called. That knob. I said, oh, okay. We just
Knob.
The knob.
Knob.
You know what I mean?
Knob.
The knob, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I've learned the proper, terms for certain things and maybe some proper techniques. But at the end of the day, I was only interested in getting that paper that says I have the knowledge of it.
Mhm.
Because that would be the only way that I would convince certain people
Mhm.
that I had the knowledge of it. So yeah, sometimes that ornament is needed.
Well, look at it. Look at a website. Right?
Right.
Look at much as our website and stuff pertaining to the podcast.
Right.
Right? I feel like everything that they can get from our website, they can get from socials,
Mhm.
streaming platforms,
Mhm.
YouTube,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, whatever. But the ornament is needed
Is
to be
needed.
taken serious.
Right.
And to these, I want to say it's an ornament more so on a compass to kind of like be like, oh, we thought it was an ornament, but people don't take you serious.
People
if
don't
you
take
don't
you
have
serious.
a website
Yeah.
for your business.
If
Be like, you don't believe in yourself, why the fuck should we believe in you?
if your business email is crystal@gmail.com,
Oh,
Crystal, we might not take the business serious.
Oh, Crystal. You trying. You just got to put a little more money behind your trying and believing.
That's it.
And that be that. And I, like I said, I wholeheartedly believe in stuff that most of my educations, everything that I've learned,
Right.
have been more of compasses
Okay.
to kind of put me to things and put me to places and stuff. I want to say, if I realize it's an ornament, I'm trying to realize what can I add to this and stuff for or what can I turn into ornament / a compass and stuff like that
Right.
to kind of give me a kind of a sense to say like this wasn't just a bag of wasted time.
Yeah.
Where I found a way to kind of link this to do something and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah.
So that's just me. That's just my take on it.
No. And like I said, that question's it's a really good question because even after the whole, and it's the funny thing because even after getting the knowledge of being an audio engineer, and I went out to the field, and one of the first companies I tried to get into, they were like, "Well, we're a software company. We know we're dealing with music and the studios, but we're looking for somebody who has computer knowledge." Right?
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I have some computer knowledge because I would tinker with back in the days where you had like your parents might have bought you like a Commodore 64 or an Atari computer and you did a little tinkering then.
Mhm.
So I was always that kid, but I never had no like formal knowledge, even though I knew music was heading in that direction.
Mhm.
And I was familiar with music software. I didn't have like the formal technical knowledge. So then I always had an interest in it. So I figured, you know what? Let me go back to school and get some of that knowledge. And even though that was a desired field or a field that I thought I would end up in, learning it had advanced me to the point where
it pointed you to a direction.
It pointed me in a direction.
Compass.
Exactly.
Compass.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is and stuff, right? Because 18 to 22, like I said, that's the entry level to adulthood. Some people might have a sense of direction of where they're gonna go. Some people might not.
Right.
Right. And that's why when I hear some people about in school, like they're undecided for a major and everything, they just haven't found like a direction. And I get it. But certain things and stuff, like I want to say, if you put yourself in a position and stuff where you're not, I don't sound like a Everest commercial. You're sitting on your ass. Like you're legit putting yourself in a place or position and stuff to win, and you're trying to apply yourself. Because I look at it stuff, you can buy the outfit and stuff, whatever. They say you're gonna use this to pick up women, but you still have to converse.
Right.
You still have to open up your mouth and enunciate some words and stuff to, I guess, quote unquote, not seem like a creep or a weirdo or get pepper sprayed.
Yeah, because at some point you got to get past the outfit. The outfit's gonna bring them to you, but once in front of you, what use is the outfit then?
Ornament. The ornament will get you in the door. You know, oh, this is nice. Is there more?
I bought it yesterday.
That part. Yeah, man. Let's get cracking. We got deep into those things, whatever.
This is why you listen to this podcast.
Yes.
This is why.
This is why here. This is not no damn Jesus and Miro. No shade to them.
No shade
They're
to
not
them.
even together no more. What would you like to talk about, man? What's on your mind?
Oh. You think what do you think of the brilliance of Trump of dropping? I'm calling them the Air Magas during All-Star Weekend.
Oh, the kick game? Phenomenal.
This is brilliant.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Shout out to all the coons. Because I looked at it, I was like, now you took us as the sneaker con.
Yeah.
To a sneaker con.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. That was the first piece.
Amazing.
And then 2, when you drop these shoes and stuff, and I was like, first of all, it's not even endorsed by nobody, but it's just created by you. And then I looked at stuff and I scratched my head and I was like, if it's cheaper than the Balenciagas and all the other type of shit that they'll wear,
yeah,
Big Baller brand made dollars.
Mm-hmm.
May not be to the Nike numbers we're so used to hearing and seeing.
Right.
Big Baller brand made
dollars.
This guy, one of my favorite comedians in the world,
he's.
Donald J. Trump,
mm-hmm.
has a bigger following compared to Lamar Ball.
Right.
So, if you thought Baller Brand didn't really do too much, the Air Magas is gonna blow you.
They sold out. The Air Magas sold out at I think they were $3.99.
$3.99 US. And my thing is something that you're a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
And they're hype beasts.
Yeah.
You have Donald J. Trump come to your sneaker con and put up this money. Most of them go to sneaker con and stuff and ready to swipe a credit card and stuff anyway.
Right.
For some exclusive shit.
Right.
You now sell this shit out now. I bet, you know what killed me? The Astro Boy boots. Motherfuckers broke their neck to an Astro Boy boot. Donald Trump shoes, Donald Trump kicks, or Astro Boy boots. What you wearing?
Come on, man. Donald Trump kicks, bro.
The Air Magas, man.
Air Magas, 100%.
The Air Magas are going on your feet.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, yeah, nah, brilliant.
It was amazing.
Brilliant.
When I seen them, like, yeah.
Smart. Quality. Yeah, man. I wanted to just briefly, say a few things to Mr. Raymond.
Oh. You're disappointed?
Yeah.
You disappointed just a little bit?
Dear Mr. Raymond.
You know when he starts off with the dear. You know when he starts off with the dear.
I sure do listen to him, man. Hell of a performance, man. Hell of a performance.
It was a good performance.
You had a chance to end racial tensions in America, but you didn't.
No.
During Black History Month, this is the time for us to shine with your help, but you didn't. You thought about yourself. How did the halftime show started? Rated you. It might cause relationship issues and everything. You had the chance and you blew it. But you only thought about yourself. You didn't think about Swiss Beats. Shout out to Swiss Beats.
Shout out to Swiss Beats. Shout out to Swiss Beats.
We'll just leave it like that.
You know what it reminded me of? The time of Beyonce's Grammy, was it the Grammy performance of it's a Baby Boy? When Sean Paul came out.
Oh, and Jay-Z was watching from the audience?
Yeah.
And you can see the hurt?
That's what it reminded me of.
As a bootleg follower of what did you call the Jehovah's Witnesses?
Jehovah's Witnesses?
We're trying to scratch that. We're trying to erase that from the internet. We're trying to Men in Black a lot of people about that moment. We haven't got to you yet.
You haven't got to me yet.
We're going to get you shortly.
Please pray for me after the show.
Yeah. I think Swiss Beats is a good sport. I would think he's a good sport of the whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's just so rocky where a lot of people made a big thing out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was straight performance.
That's all it was.
Because, I mean, when the song My Boo came out, I think she was with Swiss at the time anyway. Or their entry level of their relationship.
Okay.
Because this is after You Don't Know My Name. That
Right.
whole thing, that album and stuff was Swiss.
Yeah.
Right? And this Confessions with the extra shit, whatever, came out after. I do believe that Swiss was a good sport and stuff for it. I don't believe Usher had bad intentions behind it.
Nah.
I just feel like people are always looking for a villain.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're looking to make Usher a villain. I'm just making Usher a villain just for the fact that, like, if it was Taylor, though.
It was a Taylor?
The Swifties would have probably been like, what's this Usher guy? He seems like an old black guy. Let's take him in and stuff. I'm like, because when I see him perform and stuff, and I'm like, shirt coming off, I'm like, of course this guy would take a shirt. But you won't serenade Taylor Swift, though.
I'm telling you, man.
You bastard. Yo, shout out to Beyonce, too.
Shout out to Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce.
Let's talk about Beyonce real quick.
Shout out to
First,
Beyonce.
let's talk about the commercial.
Right.
The commercial, God bless, I was watching Super Bowl with you.
Right.
Because I was like, is this a Beyonce commercial?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Like, I looked at you for saving grace because it's looking like, I don't understand what I'm taking in.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a Beyonce thing? And then you're telling me, like, Beyonce got 2 country songs and stuff in that drop, right? I was like, pardon? Excuse me?
There's been a lot of twists and turns these past few weeks.
Okay, if Beyonce is a country artist, why do you think Beyonce would want to be a country artist now?
I think she's just trying to conquer whatever she can conquer. Right? She's done R&B, right? She's done with we consider the baby boy the attempt at reggae. A little, you know what I mean? Along the lines, maybe not fully there, but along the lines. That was her little foray into that, right?
Okay.
She's done dance, right? She's done opera.
Oh, yeah.
She's done opera, right?
I remember that one.
I think country is probably the only genre she hasn't touched yet. So I think it's just her
Gaelic folk.
Gaelic folk. Listen, man, I'm throwing it all out the window if she comes out with a Gaelic folk album.
I'm like, yo, she's a goat. She's goated. She's a I think it's a flex.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's necessary.
That's not necessary.
It's not necessary. She's won.
Mm-hmm.
I would just hope that a Taylor Swift collab is in there.
Is in the making?
It has to on this country album. I would hope. Yeah. Because if you're looking to let me speak for myself.
Right.
And I'm not dictating or saying people should live their life like this, but I feel like the older I become, the less peace or the less conflict I want to have and the more peace I want to have.
Right.
Right. And I want to be good with so many people. Am I breaking my neck for it? No. But I look at it stuff as like, not even if you can't beat them and join them.
Right.
If you can't beat them, just respect it.
Yeah.
Right. And I look at it stuff as where if Taylor Swift has won, I don't know, multiple times album of the year.
Right.
Over Beyonce, which she never won in that category and stuff, whatever. And she might think this might get her in and stuff for it. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Right.
I respect Beyonce on so many other levels and stuff.
Yeah.
This part, I'm not really seeing. The song, first song, the Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
I listen to him I listen to it with like a country kind of ear. It has a bop.
Yeah, it has a bop.
It has a bop. Without a doubt. It has a bop. But I look at stuff as like, if I know your intentions and stuff is kind of like malicious or not good.
Yeah.
I just tend to avert myself from it in general.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I think I could see it more if like she had a little background in it and she just never explored it. You know what I mean? Like you're from the state of Texas.
No.
You had, your couple of family members were like they into country music. They said, and you as a kid, you would sing country music songs.
But
you know
remember, but okay, think about what we know about Beyonce.
Right.
Beyonce, okay, she came out. Did she come out with an album? Or she just dropped those. She dropped those two songs on the Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, she dropped the 2 songs on the Sunday. I think it's an album called Beyonce, the black with like the pink logo. I think it is called Beyonce. The one with EXO, Flawless, 7-Eleven. That album that dropped out of nowhere.
Right.
She had a concert about like the same album with that had Sweet Dreams, Video Phone, Diva. She's on concert for that.
Yeah.
And at the midnight hour or before the concert, and by the way, my new album drops on midnight. Thank you. So you might not even get no history and stuff with Beyonce in country.
Right.
Because this person is already known to just come out of nowhere with some stuff.
Yeah.
But I look at it stuff as where you've won the most Grammys. You don't need to switch over a genre. You have your genre like in the Cobra Clutch.
Yeah.
Like I look at it stuff as where, and this goes back to sharing power. It goes back to sharing power and stuff, whatever. Like, do you not want to share the power, the wealth? You've already won.
Right.
If like the criteria to win in the game of life is to win, let's say 3 or 5 Grammys, you smash that and then some. So now you're playing on extra credit mode.
Yeah.
Let someone else get a turn at the game, no?
Because I'm saying, because are you doing it for? Because I don't think you're doing it for your fans. Because if your fans know you, right, from the R&B world, like they got a glimpse of you because they listen to R&B. Here comes a new R&B singer, right? Here comes a new competitor. Here comes a new R&B singer, right? And they come in and they see you do this genre very well and they embrace you and then they fall in love with you. Let's say they never liked country at all, right? Now are you forcing them now to go like country because they like you? Were you saying like
if you like me, you should fuck with the things I fuck with. I think that's hive light mentality.
That's hive light mentality.
Hive light mentality and stuff. If you fuck with me, you should like everything what I like.
Right.
So if like I don't know, if I got a cult following somewhere, whatever, right? And they see me on a date with like Nia Long and stuff is like, you know, that woman or some shit like that feeding me and everything like that. They're like, oh, me and Nia Long complete me like Lego set. Right? My cult or my following has to fuck with the fact that Nia Long is here with me. Right. So if they see Nia Long out with what's his name? Emeka, her ex, because they share kids, right?
Right.
So you see her with Emeka and stuff like that, whatever. You're like, you're cheating on more. That's what your following is supposed to be saying.
That's what they're supposed to be saying.
Fanatic. Right. Fan is short for fanatic, right?
That's what they're supposed to be saying.
I look at it stuff as where a lot of people like will fuck with you for just cause of what you normally do.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a little different, like I like it. Like say if I was a fan of J-Lo, like no shade to J-Lo. I like J-Lo.
Right.
But I don't know if I fuck with J-Lo that much to say I'm gonna buy my girl J-Lo perfume. Now somebody and stuff are like, oh my God, I love Jennifer Lopez. I'm gonna buy me Jennifer Lopez perfume. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because that was the whole aim. If you like me, you fuck with everything else I fuck with. You like everything else I like.
Except for Andre 3000 fall. That flute game might have been too far off.
Speak for yourself. I told you.
For some of the rap people.
I told you. Oh, let me tell you exactly how you should take in the Andre 3000 album. If you're a person and you like quiet sounds to go to sleep, that is the album.
That's the album?
If you like to zone out to deep thoughts while you're high, and you don't know if like your great thoughts might take you on some reading rainbow type of shit, like butterfly in the sky. This is the album for you. So I look at it as where a lot of times it might not resonate with you because it's all a feeling and stuff, right?
Right.
So if it doesn't resonate with you, then that's fine. But it might resonate with some people. That's my go-to sleep album. Then the next is stuff, whatever, like I gotta think for like ocean sounds.
Yeah.
Like if I feel like I'm like just hearing the ocean by itself.
Right.
So Andre 3000, the ocean sounds. Night. So that album got mad plays for me.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. Shout out to Beyonce though.
Shout out to Beyonce.
Who's more dangerous in a fight? A man with nothing to lose, or a man to lose everything? It's not even a man or a person. Because I look at it stuff as like, let's say this album is possibly Beyonce's worst album. I'm not saying it is,
Right.
but the country critics and stuff, whatever, will have their way, their fodder and stuff with it, regardless.
Mhm.
But the fans or the curators or the appreciators of the real music, might just beat this shit up like the Andre 3000 album, whatever. Like, what is this flute special? What is this country lawn dancing? I reckon, like, you know,
Right.
They go at it and everything. This could actually fuck with her career more than help build.
It could. And that's
it's a hell of a gamble.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if you're an R&B person and like you accepted her into the fold because she came in doing music that you like and she did it very well to the point where you put her up there among the greats, then all of a sudden, you know, you're waiting for the next R&B smash and then she drops a country album on you, like you might not be feeling her for that after that.
Yeah.
The flip side of that, remember I was asking you if she's gonna be embraced or scorned at, and a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing around her and the whole country music genre is
she's already getting scorned.
She's getting scorned. She's getting scorned.
I'm not saying that she should, but I feel that if you're gonna ask me, I might put it more in the scoring category and stuff. Because, like I said, the intentions, and who am I, to actually know the full intentions and stuff of that. But if I can see it like plain as day, like, you know, let's say you see somebody across the street with rainbow flags and stuff, whatever, all over their lawn and house and everything and stuff. Are you really just gonna assume they're straight? Or you kind of know what you see from when you're seeing it. It doesn't look like the intention and stuff is like fully pure to me.
Right.
But I look at it as like, you can try a thing. Yeah, like look at Lil Nas X, the Old Town Roads and everything like that. And if you say like, you made a collective of songs and there's like, say she has like over 100 songs.
Right.
And like, oh shit, these ones fit more into a dance world. So that's why you got that dance album.
Right.
These ones might fit more in the country world. So this is why you're getting this country whatever. Then if I hear that from somewhere, then yeah, but the mystique the mystique doesn't get me like that no more.
No.
It doesn't, because I look at it stuff as where it's the intention. That's what I recognize and stuff now, the older I get.
Yeah.
What is your intention? Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to post anything about your world to your social media followers.
Right.
Right? Like, you probably went like 5 or 6 places and stuff yesterday. I don't know. But you didn't post that.
Right.
In your story.
Right.
So you made the choice. So I'm saying your intention and stuff is like, yo, like you said, you had a deep, shout out to Color, you had deep convo and deep thought and stuff with Color and everything like that. And it was like, this is a deep thought we had. Let us take a selfie and let me show the people and stuff that I'm having deep conversations minus in the podcast.
Right.
Your intention is not that. Your intention was vibing with a like-minded individual and having elevated conversation and thought.
Right.
And that was that.
That was that.
So your intention and stuff was pure. I want to say not
intentional.
Yeah. I like what you did there. I like what you did there. Touche.
You know how we do.
Yeah, I see it. Yes, that part. Well, yeah, let's get to question of the week, man.
Question of the week.
Question of the week says, is it too hard to have hope now?
I think, yeah. I think it's harder. I don't think it's too hard. I think it's just I think it's harder with all the stuff that we see going around. Just like when you look at stuff like the cost of living, prices going up, you know, you have plans of the future where you said you might do this, that, and the third, but now you're starting to realize that, hey, what I'm doing now might not be suffice for those dreams that I had in the future to do this, that, and the third. I've now got to reevaluate my situation. I now got to even probably do more than what I'm currently doing just to meet those goals that I set for myself in the future.
Again, that's facts.
Yeah, it's funny because again, I run into a friend yesterday, right? And we're all workmates from back in the day. And we're talking about, when we were just young and working for this particular company, it was like we were wide-eyed and bushy-tailed about what the future is going to be and how we were going to do this and that and certain things. And yesterday when we were talking, he was like, he almost sounded defeated the way he was speaking. He was like saying, I just like, it's like, you would think the position that I'm in, right? That, I would consider myself being okay. And I'm like, no, I find myself constantly worrying about the future, like what's going to happen with all these changes that's happening, that's going on. Let's say, I'm thinking about leaving this place and going somewhere where it might be more conducive to my standard of living.
As you should.
And I was say to myself, bro, if that's what you've envisioned and you think you should do, then you should. You should. Like, there's no sense staying in a situation where you're suffering, where you picture something better for yourself, where you may not be suffering.
It takes courage, though.
It does.
It takes a hell of a amount of courage.
It takes a lot of courage.
Because I realized and stuff that, well, we took up some time today, but another time I want to talk about curiosity,
right,
and everything. But I feel like a lot of people, so they lose their oomph, they lose their thunder, they lose their belief, they lose a lot of things and stuff the older they get, and much as not including the changing times,
right?
So now with these changing times and stuff, now I think it's just like if the person was already carrying like let's say like bags of rice, on each shoulder, you've now added with all the extra shit out there with the world, with the wars, the inflations and everything, a bag of rice for them to carry on their head, including the two
already on the shoulders.
Right. And some people stuff, they may have the tenacity to keep it pushing, to keep it going because they might see light,
right,
or they have a plan,
right.
But if you don't see light and you don't have a plan, that part.
That's the part. That's the part.
See, I feel like it is hard. It is too hard to have hope. But I look at it stuff as where what's in your eyesight.
Right.
And I look at it where what do you choose to take in? Like, and just me, but I look at it stuff as where if a person is to go on their Instagram and unfollow everything that they follow and stuff now, right? And let's say, and I'm not saying what they follow is negative, but let's say they just choose to follow like landscapes,
right?
Just art, just like photos and artwork about landscapes and stuff now, right?
So redirecting your attention or redirecting your focus.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So I think that's what it is.
Right.
I think a lot of people are not redirecting their focus to brighter or positive and realistic things.
Right. Right.
Because I look at it as stuff where you can get caught up in the fodder with, let's say if we're talking about dating stuff, right?
Right.
You could be a single person at home looking like why you don't have a boo, or it's so hard to meet the proper person and all the above. You have a day like Valentine's Day come out and you see some people getting blessed up with their Valentine's Day dinners or gifts and trinkets and stuff, whatever, from somebody else's significant other.
Yeah.
And this might bring you down. And you're looking at stuff, it's like, oh, Valentine's Day just passed and I still don't have nobody and I didn't have anybody last Valentine's Day. And you're losing hope on the relationship front.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as where lead with love. That's just my thing. And I always say lead with love, then manners or
And then
respect.
manners, right.
Because I look at it stuff as where if you lead with love, what's for you won't miss you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as where you're just gonna do a favor or do something for me for like love. Right? And
Right.
then if I deal with you with like manners and respect, you'll continue want to do it for me. And then you'll feel good and stuff in the process.
Right.
And now if it's vice versa now, where it's come time for me to show you some love, whatever, I'm like, fuck that nigga. Fuck that guy. And I'm all saying like, fuck that guy. And like, I feel like one time he didn't give me like, I asked him for a stick of gum. He looked at me, he chomped at it with his eye full of intention stuff. Like, this guy smoothing even sure his stick of gum.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. And now everything I do towards you is based on like these two resentment moments and stuff that I have.
That you have.
So everything I do towards you is not with like love intentions.
Right.
Right? Some people naturally do not have love in their heart.
Right. Right.
Kind of like the generosity thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't naturally have love in your heart, maybe you should start by putting some love in your heart. And then maybe you should start by at least touching a person. Not Michael Jackson pedophilia type of way.
Yeah.
Touching a person's soul.
Just watch how you touch the person.
Soul. Touch a person's soul. Because I look at it as stuff as where your interaction with somebody might inspire and give a person hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yo, it's not that bad out here. No, it's bad out here and stuff, whatever. Is it though? You have food to eat now. I've given you something to eat. You know, I've given you shelter. I've given you this.
Yeah.
You still feel like there's no hope? You have to be an ungrateful person and really go into despair to not see the good. That's why I said gratitude before attitude.
Yeah. You know, but you're right. It is harder and harder for some, and even harder for harder for some, but more harder for the people who, again, we talk about a lot about resilience.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about having focus. We talked about having what was it that last week we were talking about? It was maybe it was the week before. It was a Soul Sister Sons.
Which one?
Having purpose. The purpose leads to
to help find you.
To help find you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Goal creates a meaning to your life.
Yeah. It's like sometimes you really gotta focus on that goal to open up those tunnels that you see closed.
Correct.
Because you might get that bag of rice on your head and it might make the journey harder to walk, but guess what? You still gotta walk. Are you not gonna walk towards that goal that you have in mind? You're just gonna stop. You know what I mean? That's where it truly becomes, right? Like that's the redirecting the focus. Maybe that tunnel might be far, but look, over there, another tunnel just opened up. That tunnel might be a little bit closer. That tunnel might be more achievable. Pivot.
I think my last thing on it is like pertaining to love. Is that most people and stuff, religions, I feel like most religions they try to promote and push love, no?
Yes.
I always just feel like that. So if a lot of times when you can't find hope within yourself or anywhere else, maybe a religion. Not a cult. A religion.
No, not a cult. Religion.
A religion might help you give like a little more redirecting your focus, like you said.
Yeah.
Perfect wording for it. It might line you up and help give you a little bit more hope. Because I look at this stuff as where I hear a ton of people, this is just from, I guess, the Christian folk that I interact with.
Yeah.
They know out here stuff is all kind of fucked up in different kind of manners and however, but yet and still, they'll still find their way to church.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, are you going to the stunt? But like, no, it's like the word of the Lord and stuff is giving them hope to continue on. Right? And other religions.
Their batteries. Recharges their batteries.
That. Start somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's get to Ask the Sons, man.
All right.
First Ask the Sons comes from BykeLife.
BykeLife. Sound like you're a racer or something. What's going on?
Might be Lance Armstrong Jr. What was once a conspiracy theory that turned out to be true today?
Government spying on
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yo, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially after 9/11, that Homeland Security shit.
Bro.
Really, nigga.
We got Snowden not allowed to come back to the US of A.
That is crazy. And he's giving people general information that they're supposed to know.
Right.
And he's going to be held for treason the minute he touched foot on the US soil. Crazy.
That is insane.
Crazy. For me, the government brought drugs in America.
Yeah.
Because they're always like, oh, it's these cartels and all that. No, fucker.
Nah.
CIA. We know.
Yo, keep it a buck. We could probably do a whole show about CIA with these conspiracies that really were CIA.
That's a fact. That's a major fact. Was the CIA that did LSD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
These guys. It's not a theory, it's true. Next question comes from Polo_Piglet. What simple change in your daily routine has had an unexpected large impact on your life?
Going to bed early.
Ooh, talk about it. When are you shutting it down now?
I shut it down right around the 10 o'clock. I try to do it around the 10 o'clock mark.
So the 10 o'clock mark now, you get into comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
You get into your bed.
Right.
And now you're trying to nestle your way. So regardless to the fact, even if it takes like an hour or two,
yeah,
you're still finding a slip in.
I'll find it slipping in. And then, bro, I'm up with no problems, no struggles. I'm ready to go. I do a lot. Because sometimes I would wake up in the morning and I know I got to be downstairs for a set time, but just that bed is holding me in there because I can't fully get up out of it, right? And I'm groggy and all of that. But now when I go to my bed, they're like, I'm at that 10 o'clock mark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need my alarm to wake me.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
For me, I would probably put. No, I know I would put walking. Walking like after like a day of work.
Okay.
Like a little 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
Because I don't fuck with winter. I'm not a winter sports person.
Right.
But I realize this has a general impact, a major impact on my mental health.
Mm.
And it's so good. And it's so needed.
Right.
Because I look at it stuff as where even if I'm just taking in my tunes and stuff, whatever, I'm just taking in some landscapes, I feel like I'm being connected. I'm not getting plugged up to God. I don't know. This is me.
No.
And it has like I want to say from the walking and the movement aspect,
right? That
benefit, and then to free my mental health. Because your wife even other people said like, yo, I've never seen you depressed because I walk. I free my mind whenever I get a chance.
Right.
So I don't really have a reason to like be depressed or stay depressed.
Nice. People don't realize how much like just indoor settings and how artificial lights affect them.
What? You know what annoys me? It's just me. If it's a sunny day and then there's bright lights on inside and stuff, whatever, I was like, hopefully your place is enough to take in some of that light. If not, get out into the damn light.
Yeah.
Because it's good for you, your skin, and everything else and stuff, whatever. But we've become, I don't want to say vain, but I want to say humans becoming in a way where we've done things more counterproductive to our health.
Yeah.
Than productive.
Yeah.
And then we're in this moment of stuff like, how do we get here? Right? When you're putting bullshit into the foods and now people are just keep dropping the flies like, with cancers, different type of cancers and everything and stuff. You're like, how do we get here? That cancer is like one of the main things killing people and stuff out here now. The shit we did with the foods. Right?
Nah, it shouldn't be how do we get here? It should have been At what point did we get here? Because we were gonna get here.
No, longer like I don't know if it was a conspiracy theory, but it felt like it would be like, oh, you eat all that McDonald's and stuff is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, so why don't McDonald's just do better foods?
Right? It's like you would think McDonald's would want us around so they could sell us more food.
Thank
You would think that would be their goal.
Thank you. Let's get to the last question. This last question comes from Fennel-Cake, not funnel, fennel.
Fennel.
That sounds nasty.
Yeah.
What is something that your generation does that you actually hate?
Eat McDonald's.
Eat
Nah,
McDonald's? Ba, 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 ba.
We still loving it.
Right? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say frivolous spending.
Frivolous spending?
Yeah.
Your generation still does frivolous spending like that?
Yeah, I think we still do, man. I think like
Really?
yeah.
I don't feel like
You don't feel like that?
your generation.
I
I
feel
feel,
like my
like you
generation-
guys come to that. You guys are past that point.
There's a lot of dancehall Peggies out here, man. That should be not be going.
And I always feel like they're in the minority than the
You feel like
majority.
they're in the minorities,
Maybe I'm optimistic like that, whatever.
right? Yeah.
Because I just feel like those dancehall Peggies and stuff, whatever. People are like, no shade to be like, look at this loser over here, and no one wants to be like said person.
Yeah.
Like even we ridicule the person if you're an older dude and you're off in a club and you still don't have a woman and stuff at home.
Right.
We
yeah.
ridicule that person. And I still feel like they're in the minority.
Person. Yeah.
Those people are still in the minority. For me, I think the reposting thing with the celebrity stuff that I was talking about earlier,
Right.
that's one thing. I hate my generation for fucking posting food.
Food.
Are you buying me the meal or you just want to like this? You're flexing with your fuck your food. No, I couldn't say the last time if I like a food video,
Right.
it's a whole step by step how to cook
how to
this.
do it. How to do it. Right.
If
And
it
it's
was just,
usually something that you have not already done yourself, or something that's brand new.
but if it's something where, look, fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah. No.
Fuck your fettuccine. Sorry, Alfredo Warriors. I'll be nice
Alfredo
to you.
Warriors.
I'll be nice to you. I promise you. Once a year, I only just clap at you guys and I keep it pushing. That's it.
That's it.
We are here, man.
We are here.
Song and dance. So say the Suns. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So say the Suns this week says, if you never learn to obey, then it would be hard for you to lead.
So says the Suns.
I feel like
break that down for them. Break that down for them.
I feel like a lot of times, and going back to what we were talking about earlier with the order and the structure,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like here I am trying to give you the proper blueprint or the order or the history or the knowledge
Right.
of something. You choose not to listen. You choose not to let's say, I want to say learn.
Yeah.
At that time. However, you've rallied up some troops and stuff to say, like, we're anti fucking Marv. But you rallied troops and stuff, but you have little knowledge to lead these troops.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of times and stuff, a lot of people have to honestly say to themselves, this is beyond them, especially when they're going to helping people.
Yeah.
Because everything they're saying and stuff like, you didn't lead an example. You all right? You rolled your eyes. I never seen you roll your eyes before. Out of over 200 episodes, I never seen you roll your eyes. You're like, the heck, guys. Poor guy. It happens so frequent.
It does. It does.
It happens so frequent. It's wild. It's astonishing to me because I'm like, you take no direction. You've never went to school. You've never done this. You've been breaking the law the whole time.
Right.
Now you're telling your kid and stuff, whatever. You got to be wise. The fuck?
Yeah. Yo, I do keep it a buck. Some of the greatest were apprentices at one point.
And they outshined. Ooh, yeah, it was last week. We were talking about Plato, Aristotle,
Right.
and all them and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Right. It was Hippocrates, then Socrates, then Plato, then Aristotle.
Before they were great, they were
and
apprentices.
they were all apprentices under each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you never learn to obey, then it'll be hard for you to lead. So say the Sons.
So says the Sons.
We are here.
We are here.
We have no structure, so we can end it whenever we want to.
You might just go out and buy some Air Magas if they are resale.
Yo. Average probably like a G.
What?
Yeah, Average is a G. I know
It's probably nuts right now. I'm gonna go on eBay and see.
I want to see it now. My curiosity has been tickled. Okay. Once again, man, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys. From the beginners to the new to the whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above.
All of that.
We are here for it. Have the questions and have the convo. Hilariously inappropriate, but intellectual beyond belief.
That's us.
Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Arrivederci.
Peace.
Peace.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.